Somewhere within a few steps of you right now, there are two objects that weigh exactly the same, and one of them is going to feel almost twice as heavy as the other. Not a little heavier. Obviously, absurdly heavier. The kind of difference you would swear to under oath, with your hand on your heart because your hand is telling you so. And here is the part that gets people. I am about to tell you exactly what the trick is in the next 10 seconds, and it will not help you even slightly. You will know. You can put both objects on a kitchen scale and watch the identical number come up twice, and the small one will still feel heavier. Today, tomorrow, and for the rest of your life. The rule is simple, and it is almost insultingly simple. Take two objects that weigh the same and make one of them big and the other one small. Then lift them. The smaller one feels dramatically, unmistakably heavier. Same weight on the scale, wildly different weight in your hands. So let us actually do it right now with things you already own, because this one is real and you can have it in about a minute. Go and find one big, light thing. An empty cardboard box is perfect. A large cushion, an empty backpack, a big plastic storage tub, something with real volume that weighs almost nothing on its own. Then find one small, dense thing, a full bottle of water, a thick hardback book, a bag of rice, a hand weight if you have one, something that is small in your hand but surprisingly solid. Now the only fiddly part. You need them to weigh the same, so put things inside the big one until it matches. Books, tins, more bottles, whatever you have, hidden inside the box or under the cushion, until the big thing weighs what the little thing weighs. If you have a kitchen scale, use it because that is what makes it undeniable. Same number twice. If you do not, just get them as close as you can by guessing and adding. Ready? Here is how to lift them, and the details matter. Keep your eyes open and look at each object as you lift it because the size is doing the work. Pick up the big one with one hand, feel it, put it down. Now pick up the small one, feel it, put it down. Do that again. Big one, small one. Now swap hands and do it one more time so you cannot blame your arms. Take your time, go slowly. There, see, you just did it. The small one is heavier in your hands. It is not a subtle difference you have to hunt for. It is loud and it is obvious and it is completely, provably false. The scale says they are twins. Your hands say one of them is a lump of lead. And now that you know they match, notice what has not happened. It has not gone away. Lift them again and the little one is still the heavy one. You did not fix anything by learning the truth. This is called the size-weight illusion, and it is also known as the Charpentier illusion, after the man who first pinned it down. Augustin Charpentier was a French physician and physiologist, and in 1891 he published a careful experimental analysis of how the sensation of weight actually works. He showed that when two objects have identical mass but different sizes, people reliably judge the smaller one to be heavier. That was more than 130 years ago. It has been repeated in laboratories ever since, and it has never stopped working. And out of that stubbornness comes a genuinely unsettling idea about you. Because here is what you almost certainly believe about your own sense of weight, and it turns out to be wrong. You believe that heaviness is a measurement. You believe there is a kind of dial wired into your muscles and your tendons, and when you lift something, that dial reads out how much force it took, and that reading arrives in your mind as the feeling of weight. Heavy thing, big reading. Light thing, small reading. Honest, direct, mechanical. A bathroom scale made of meat. The size-weight illusion says no. What reaches your mind is not the load at all. What reaches your mind is the surprise. You are not feeling how heavy the object is. You are feeling how wrong your brain was about it. Look at the clues this illusion hands you because each one is pointing straight at that answer. The first clue is the one you just lived through. Knowing does not help. In almost every other kind of mistake, information is the cure. You misread a word, someone corrects you, and you read it correctly forever after. Here, you have the correction in your hands in numbers, and the feeling does not budge by a gram. The second clue goes further. It does not help to be told. If someone stands beside you and says, out loud, "These two objects each weigh 1 kilogram. I weighed them myself. Here is the receipt." Your conscious mind will accept every word of that, and your hands will carry on insisting otherwise. The part of you that believes the scale and the part of you that feels the weight are apparently not on speaking terms. And the third clue is the one that really gives it away. Practice does not wear it out. You can lift those two objects again and again and again. Dozens of times, hundreds of times. Every single lift gives your brain fresh, direct, physical evidence that the weights are identical, and the illusion just sits there, undented, as strong on the 100th lift as it was on the first. Almost nothing in perception is that stubborn. So what on earth is going on? Here is the idea that ties all three clues together, and it genuinely changes how you understand every object you have ever picked up. Your brain does not wait to find out how heavy something is. It guesses first. Before your fingers even close around the thing, your brain has already looked at it, sized it up, and made a prediction about the weight because it has to. It needs to know how hard to grip and how hard to pull before the lift begins, or you would either crush the thing or fumble it. And the single strongest ingredient in that prediction is size. Over an entire lifetime of picking things up, you have learned deep in the wiring that big means heavy. Bigger box, more stuff, more weight. It is an excellent rule. It is right most of the time, and your brain applies it before you touch anything. Now watch what happens when the rule is broken on purpose. You reach for the big box. Your brain has predicted something substantial, so it has braced for something substantial, and the box comes up lighter than predicted. That gap, that shortfall, is what you feel, and you feel it as lightness. Then you reach for the small, dense thing. Your brain has predicted almost nothing because it is small, and it arrives far heavier than predicted. That excess, that overshoot, is what you feel, and you feel it as weight. So the heaviness you experience is not a reading of the object. It is a reading of the error. Your brain quietly subtracts what it expected from what arrived, and hands the difference to you with the label heavy on it. You are, quite literally, feeling your own mistake, and now the finding that turns this from a fun party trick into something a bit haunting. In the year 2000, two researchers, Randolph Flanagan and Michael Beltzner, published a study in the journal Nature Neuroscience that looked at exactly what happens when people lift these mismatched objects over and over. And they measured two different things at the same time. They measured what the hand did, the grip force and the lifting force, the actual physical output of the body. And they measured what the person said, the felt heaviness. On the first lift, both were fooled, exactly as you would expect. The hand gripped the big object too hard, braced for a weight that was not there, and the person reported the small one felt heavier. But then something remarkable happened. Within just a few lifts, the hand corrected itself. The grip force and the lift force quietly rescaled to the true weights, the ones the scale would agree with. The sensorimotor system learned. It updated on the evidence fast, without being asked, without even telling you. And the feeling did not. The illusion of heaviness stayed almost exactly where it was. The same person in the same body in the same moment was gripping the objects as if they weighed the same, while reporting that they felt completely different. Your hand had learned the truth and your mind had refused it, at the same instant from the same lift. Now, honesty time. The size-weight illusion itself is about as solid as findings get. It has been reproduced since 1891, in lab after lab, and you tested it yourself a few minutes ago in your own kitchen. The dissociation between what the hand learns and what the mind feels is a real, published, measured result. What is a careful best guess rather than a settled fact is the full explanation. This idea of expectation and prediction error, where perceived heaviness reflects the gap between what your brain forecast and what it got. That is the mainstream reading among researchers today, associated with work by scientists including Gavin Buckingham and Melvin Goodale, and it fits the evidence beautifully. But the exact mechanism is still argued about, and I want to mark it honestly as interpretation rather than gospel. The strength of the effect also varies from person to person, and it is stronger when the size difference is larger. And to be clear about what this is normal, healthy human perception, the ordinary machinery of lifting caught out in the open. It is not paranormal. It is not a sign that anything is wrong with you, and nothing here is a claim about anyone's health. And this is the part I really want you to sit with, because it reaches a long way past a box and a bottle. Think about every heavy thing you have ever lifted. A suitcase off a carousel, a sleeping child, a bag of shopping that dug into your fingers on the walk home. In none of those moments were you feeling the weight. You were feeling the distance between the weight and what you had already decided the weight would be. Every single lift of your life has been a guess, checked, and the leftover handed to you as a sensation. You have never once touched the raw world. You have only ever touched your own prediction error. And then there is the other half, the half I cannot stop thinking about. You are carrying two systems in one body. One of them looks at the evidence, updates within a handful of lifts, and quietly gets on with doing the right thing. The other one is handed the exact same evidence from the exact same hand in the exact same second and simply refuses to change its mind. Your hand learns. Your mind will not, and you cannot make it. You just held the proof in numbers in both palms, and the feeling did not move a millimeter. So here is your turn. Go and tell me down in the comments. How much heavier did the small one actually feel to you, honestly, if you had to put a number on it? Was it a little bit, or was it the difference between a bag of sugar and a brick? And what two objects did you use? Because I want the strangest pair somebody manages. And if it did not work for you, tell me that too, because the size difference matters and I want to know what failed. And if you like this, catching your own brain quietly running systems you never knew you had, then subscribe and stick around, because there is a whole pile of these, and every single one of them is really about you.